What's up, everybody? It's the after show, but later episode number 202. It's your boys, D and El Cucuy, and we have a lot for you. Even though it was a short week, we're still going to get this done. El Cucuy, are you confident in today?
Absolutely. I'm always confident. Shit,
I'm
matter of fact, I'm
confident.
cocky.
You are cocky. You sent me a text earlier that was funny as hell. But
Yeah.
before we get into any of it, let's go ahead and bring in the homie baseline Trey.
Now buckle up your seats and prepare for the journey. Let the music ease your soul, grab a spliff and start burning. Relax with us and take a trip to the heavens and come and spend a day in the 757.
That's exactly what I need.
All right. When you're done singing, I'll do the intro. What's up, everybody? It's the after show, but later episode number 202. It's your boys, D. El Cucuy, and we are coming off a couple of really fun episodes. How did you like that interview that we had with the one and only Covino?
It was great. He brought it. That's probably, at least at this point, that's my favorite show.
You know what's funny, dog, is that I'm like, for us, it's like, it's cool. It's a big moment. It's fucking Covino. We're hella stoked, Dog, afterward, I know, like you said, he hit you up and he's like, like, appreciate it and all this, dog, he didn't even have to come on. And then afterward,
Right.
he's like saying, I appreciate it and shit. And he was like, when I was editing, he was like, hey, he's like, let me know when it's going to be up and shit, so I could shout it out or whatever. And then he's like, how's it coming out? Did I do all right? And I was like, did you do all right? He was like, I wasn't too boring, was I? And I was like, did you forget you're the professional? Like, this shit, dog, you should be worried about us if we're gonna make you look bad. But he
Right.
was like, nah, like, and it's just funny, dog, because it just goes back to always how he's always like has pride in everything he's doing. And there's, he always
And
says,
it and
hey,
it shows. It
there's
truly
nothing
shows.
wrong. He'll say there's nothing wrong with hard work, right? And people might
Nope.
bag on him or whatever. And it's so funny because he's coming on to a show like ours where we have like what 7.4 billion listeners right now. It's not like everybody in the world, but we have a lot. And he's coming on here and he's still very confident and like not confident, very like critical of himself. Like, oh, did I do good? How was I? I'm like, it tripped me out, man. But I can't thank him enough. I thought it was awesome.
No, he's the legend. And then for me, where it kind of came full circle was just the fact that that even happened. Right. I used to listen to their show back in the day,
Same.
and I still do, obviously, in all three of them. But I even listen to Have Smut, they said. But with that being said, it was kind of like it was a trip. It just was a trip that I'm a part of a show, and Cavino came on the show.
Yeah. No,
Life,
100%.
life is crazy, man. Like, when I made this career move that I just made, I realized that every step you take prepares you for the next step. But sometimes we get so caught up in the journey that we're not even paying attention to the scenery. We're just wondering, why do I got to do that? Or why is this boss making me do that? Or this boss is the hardest boss I ever had to get along with, but I got to figure this shit out. And like, after a decade or two of figuring it out, it sets you up for the next step, which in this situation is just a trip because I listened to him and all the channels on Octane and the Boneyard and Turbo and in every channel. He's the Poundstone and everything. And here we are in 2023 having a conversation on a show that I'm a part of. And it was awesome. It really was.
Yeah, you summed it up perfectly, Doug. I'm gonna try to put my 2 cents in, but you know, um,
Put
my
three.
buddy hit me up. My buddy Luis hit me up, and he was like, "Bro," he was like, "I don't even want to listen," and I was like, "What?" I was like, "Why not?" And he was like, "I'm like
Yeah, why
nervous for
not?
you guys." He was like, it's almost like when Covino says like his mom gets nervous for him and shit, even though he's been doing it for 20 years or whatever. He's
Right.
like, he knows like it was cool. It was a big moment. And I told him like it was, and I told him, I was like, dog, you don't have to trip. We already did it. All right. This is the edited version. You can
Yeah.
I know it was successful. I was there. I lived it. Right. And I was like, but honestly, it's surreal. Like I can't give it any other word, but to me, it was just like before I ever even interacted with the show. for maybe 3 years or so before I had even like jumped on their forum or whatever. I was just a listener. And, so I was a fan of these dudes. Like, and it's
Right.
cool that we've become like friendly with Covino, at this point, and we can catch up through text or whatever. But it's so crazy. Like at that moment, it was kind of like we have Steve Covino, the radio dude on our show, the dude that we listened to for decades, that was like, it was kind of like I separated like the dude that's kind of become like we become friendly with from like Covino, the radio
Yeah.
superstar,
No,
you know?
that's how I just looked at it. It was, and we message back and forth on Instagram once in a while, and I'm always sending a little funny shit, and it just, to me, it was having more time to actually talk about that funny shit. You know what I mean? And have some questions, and yeah, it was great, bro. It was great. It was.
I had a really good time. So
I don't know what I was doing today, and I was thumbing through old Webster. Webster's, right? The dictionary.
Yeah.
And I landed on good dude, and it had Covino's face. And I went a couple pages past that to hey dudes, those shoes, and it had Rich's face.
Yeah.
He's a good dude. What can I say? I mean, he's a good human, man. And
it was. I can't thank him enough for all the support, and it was funny because I noticed something when Covino was giving us a little shout out at the end of the show. He was like, on their show, he was like, oh, I did an appearance on the after show, but later, they hit 200 episodes, and he was kind of starting to talk about it, and Rich cut him off with, I had a behind the velvet rope, right? And I kind of heard that, and I was like, is Rich trying to hate, right? But I go, maybe it's just me, right? Maybe I'm being a little sensitive, right?
Okay.
And then somebody hit me up later, and they were like, hey, did you hear that shout out? And I was like, oh yeah, it was dope. And they were like, did you hear Rich try to cut him off? And I was like what the fuck, Doug? Like, he was in the middle of being like, this is their 200th episode, this is cool,
Bro, he's got T-ball on his mind. Just he's a mess right now, right?
You know what? That's actually on my notes. Did you hear Rich? Let's get right into it. Did you hear Rich say that coaching little girl softball or whatever is the hardest thing he's ever done?
Yeah, I heard him exaggerate.
He said the hardest thing he's ever done. And I'm like, you know what? The way I look at it is, if coaching your daughter's softball league and being the manager or whatever the fuck it is,
the momager,
if that's the hardest thing you've ever done, you've had a very, very blessed life. That's the only way I could look at it.
Yeah, man. There were a time in my life where there was 4 kids underneath the roof, and imagine letting all of them have friends spend the night. I mean, I don't know, Rich.
Yeah,
that, and you got 2.
Yeah, that's one experience, right? But yeah,
hey,
anyway.
But you know what though? He's just a whiner and he's a complainer, and I don't know if he's saying that just for the clicks, because he's Clickbait Davis. That's his new nickname for me. He's Clickbait Davis. He will say something just to get you to take the bait. Kind of like a dude I know who posts bunk TikToks.
Hey, it is what it is, right? There's no shame in Rich's game, right?
Nope.
But
there's not.
Yeah, but just think about it. Think about if one of those things go fucking millions of Jordan views viral, and we have, you know what? Then we got a couple new listeners. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, but I think that you know what? All these people, and they're like, I pray for longevity, and I pray for patience, and I pray, everyone got their prayers, right? Well, I don't know what Rich Davis prays for, but he's getting himself some patience, because that's what he's gonna have to learn with all them little girls on that T-ball team.
Yeah, no, it was funny.
He bounces around too much, bro. He's all over the place. High energy Davis. I mean, he's like super high energy Davis. And now, you know what? He can't steal the spotlight out of the room. He's used to stealing the spotlight out of every situation he's in, and them little girls could give a less who he is.
Mm-hmm.
No, he can't handle it
because it's just fun. I mean, he has no time to even try to steal the show. He's running around wiping off first base and, collecting water bottles and, blowing the whistle. And then there's a little conversation over here, and he has to break it up. He said he had to break up his daughter and her best friend because they were chatting the whole time. Like, It's just
did he bench her? Did he bench his kid? That's when you bench your kid in front of the other kids.
You know what's funny, dog, is that I'm like, I haven't been listening as long as you have, right? But it's so funny to see the transformation, even from when I started to now, to he's running around collecting little league and tuition and shit. That is so funny to me.
All I'm gonna say is this: I don't know if you're up on Winning Time or not.
I'm not. I need
okay,
to
well, then I won't say too much. All I know is that there's a coach that they're taking advantage of, right? They're taking advantage of him, and they're on a losing streak, and they're taking advantage of this coach, and he knows it. They're just taking advantage of him. No respect. And guess what? He snaps.
Mm-hmm.
And they all win. I'm not telling, Little League Davis to snap. I'm not saying that. But he's going to have to do something to get their attention let those little girls know he mean business.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Hey, what does Chris Rock say? Chris Rock, what's that quote? I'll let you go ahead and find it later and insert it here so I'm not canceled. But I'll tell you after the show.
Where he says, I'll never hit a woman? Is it that one?
No, he says, we got to let them crackers know we mean business.
No, I like the one where he's like, I'll never hit a woman. Never hit a woman. Everybody starts applauding. Mm-hmm. He goes, but I'll shake the hell out of her.
And what about the OJ one? I'm not saying he should have did it, but I understand.
Yeah. No, and then I think he was the one. I think he was also the one who was like, I feel sorry for OJ. He's bringing out his steak all cut up like he's 4 years old because they don't want to give him a knife. Yeah.
He can't even. He's at Big Five. They've got just his picture behind the counter and shit. They're like, no.
Oh man, but you know what? There's a story that kind of has gone viral. I don't know if you have checked it out, but they had to bring a plane down to Earth, right?
What do you mean plane down to Earth? You got to elaborate a little on that. I'm confused.
There was a plane in the air.
Okay.
Right. And somebody hit all the way down the aisle from the front
I did
of the
not
plane,
hear about that.
From the front of the plane to the back of the plane. I guess they were trying to get to the toilet.
Uh-huh.
And they left shit all the way down. So they had to ground the plane because they said it was a biohazard.
Oh, it is. And you can't do that.
Video just came out of the hallway, like the aisle. Holy shit! No pun intended, dog.
So what happened? The toilet leaked, or someone?
No, somebody shit their pants on the way to the toilet. Maybe they were like in the first or second row, and they're like, "Oh man, I gotta go now." Went, to try to go to the back of the plane to the shitter, and just dropped it the entire way.
The entire way,
dog. There's a video on Barstool that they just released. I guess like TMZ released something. They said there was like a video, and then I was on Twitter earlier and I saw on Barstool they had a video of the aisle, and there's just shit all the way down the aisle.
Well, I'm gonna say this: just like Rich Davis, I don't think that dude's been punched in the face. He needs to be punched in the face.
Who? Dave Portnoy?
I hate that dude.
Yeah, you know what?
He needs his whooped.
I know Barstool's a huge platform and a huge, like media, whatever the fuck you call it. But I think they kind of I know Covino and Rich don't have any like hate towards them, but they put a bad taste in my mouth, and it's not their fault, but I can't help it. It's the way I feel. When SiriusXM, they came over and they started like knocking out different shows off of their channel and putting in like Barstool shows. Do you remember when that happened?
I do.
They had they started moving around like the lineup and putting Covino and Rich like later in the day or something. And I was like, and at the time, I didn't know how big they were, right? So I was like, who the fuck is this bullshit? And then as time went on, I got to know, okay, I guess it's a big company and shit, but I just didn't like that. I was like, it reminds me of like when you have people doing stand-up and they have like somebody famous come in and he bumps everybody. So he goes up, and not only does he bump everybody, he does 45 minutes instead of doing like, a 10-minute set. So he everybody's night up. And I kind of feel like that's what Barstool did to SiriusXM, to Covino and Rich and everybody else that was on the channel at the time.
Well, the thing all that makes me dislike him even more. because he's just a douchebag. Like he's all over TikTok and it's stupid. The way he handles like the one bite challenge, like he could do the challenge, but he is so disrespectful at times. And it's just,
You got to fill me in. I don't know what that is.
Where he goes to pizza parlors and he'll take one bite and he'll judge it on one bite and he'll give a review.
I've never seen it. So
yeah, Dave Portnoy, that's what he does. He does the one bite. Have you ever been to Walmart and you seen the yellow pizza says the one bite pizza?
Nuh-uh.
In the frozen section?
Nuh-uh.
Okay, well, he came out with the whole frozen line. I don't know if it's still out or not, but Walmart carried it. It was called One Bite. And I guess he would go to different pizza parlors and he gets a big old slice of pie, folds it in half, takes one bite, and then gives a review based on that one bite. And obviously some of the reviews aren't that great. And I seen one just recently where he was outside this dude's restaurant and he's filming it and it's a TikTok and the guy comes out telling him to leave. They get back and forth into it and like he's just being a dick. It's like it's one thing if you're going to give someone a bad review, but now you're fucking with your following, you're fucking with their money and their business. I don't like that. You know what I mean? Like he's better off to just I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like the fact that he's blasting people like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And the only reason I know about that one where he got into it with the worker or the owner was because Covino and Rich played a clip on their show of him getting into it with them. But I didn't know the backstory. They were mentioning something about one bite or whatever.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what it was all about.
And I think he's entitled to give a bad review. I don't like the way he goes about it where like, you know, because he's got millions of followers, man. There's a reason why if Kim Kardashian, you know, showcases something on her IG, she gets millions because of her influence. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This dude everyone knows who Portnoy is.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, man. It's not even like Siskel and Ebert. Siskel and Ebert would give bad reviews or Rotten Tomatoes. That's one thing. This dude's in front of that person's like restaurant giving it. And I just think there's something ultimately disrespectful about that. I think he needs to be punched in the dick. Just saying.
Yeah, I agree. I've never been a fan of him or the whole company, KFC and all them fuckers. You know, I don't dig them. I don't dig any of that fucking.
Well, it's not about the review. He's entitled to give whatever review he wants because a lot of times I go off of reviews if I'm going to try somewhere that I've never tried before. So I encourage the review. It's the way he goes about giving the review, standing like in front of their building on video to millions of people. I just think he's a scumbag.
I agree. I don't like him. What do you think about Coach Prime and Colorado football, college? Have you watched Swamp Kings? What's your whole?
I watched Coach Prime. I watched a good chunk of that game. It was close, but they just kept coming through. His son's dope. His other son's dope. That two-way player they got, what's his name? Travis something. He's dope. I don't know, man. I like it. I like the energy he brings. He brings a certain energy level that I think hasn't been at that university in a long time.
100%. And you know, last season they won one game. This season, at the beginning of the season, I think the over under was like 3 games.
Okay.
And it has since then moved to 5. So you know what?
If they were smart, they'd put that shit at like 7.
You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking it's going to be over 5. And I know it's a lot coming from a previous year of 1. Doug, I'm thinking they're going to get at least 7. So I'm thinking that would be a good number to put because I'm just thinking, Doug, not only does Dion bring an attitude, Doug, he's done it before, right? He's done everything before. So he's bringing the experience, Doug. He's not just somebody who played a couple of years in
now they're ranked
college.
Huh? Now they're ranked all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're number 22. They're ranked all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Bastard. They weren't even ranked going into it. Remember they were saying that it was the one he gutted the whole team. They're a bunch of nut riders. That's what they are.
You know what, Doug? I was like, what made me like hella stoked, not only about this past weekend, but like what made me stoked is that watching Swamp Kings, I didn't know how they need to. I mean, if they lose one game, they're almost out of like the running for a national title. They lose 2 games, pretty much wrap up
You're
your whole
done.
season.
Yeah, you're done.
I didn't know it was that competitive. I figured, in the like in the NFL, you lose, you win 10, 11 games. I mean, you still have a playoff chance, right?
Right.
And the 9, 10 games, you're kind of like, all right, you better pray you get in there. But Doug, the NCAA, you lose 2 games, to
But
me,
that's
I'm like,
good.
okay,
I
that
like it.
makes it more exciting. So I'm like, oh, you know what? I might start watching more college football because I've never been a huge college football fan. But after watching Swamp Kings, and I'm like, damn, dog, every game matters. Every fucking
Everyone,
game.
they do. And I'm a Fresno State Bulldog fan, at the end of the day. And that's where my distaste for Carr comes from, because the same shit he did as a Raider, him and his punk ass brother, did at Fresno State. But they're good spokesmen for my bank. But that's about it. But with that being said, yeah, and let me go back and kind of touch on what you just said. Not only does every game matter, okay, but check this out. Think about this in totality. How many colleges are even in D1 that have an opportunity to go? Because in the NFL, it's what, 32 teams? 16 get to the playoffs?
Yeah.
Right? In Division 1, I don't even want to throw a number out here because I haven't done my research and I don't want to look like a dummy face. But I'll tell you, it's a lot more than 32. And only 8 get to the playoffs.
Yeah. Hold on. Give me a second, Doug.
NFL, man, you can get into the playoffs sometimes being 9-7. Now 10-7. You know what I mean? 11-6. You can't do that. You can't lose 6 games in the college football season and make it to a turd bowl, let alone the championship series.
Yeah. No, 100%. And that to me, I'm like, because I know people like always rode and football's nuts for college football, right? And I'm like, all right, cool. I mean, I dig it. I get it. They're trying to get it to the NFL. I get it. Yeah. But I didn't know like it was that competitive. Now I'm like, yeah, Doug, I want to watch this shit. And I'm not gonna lie. And Coach Prime bringing me along for the ride too, Doug, because now I have something to be excited about. I know that every game counts. I know Coach Prime's there. I know his kids are doing better. So I'm like, all right, Doug, it gives me something to watch, And just like what.
Well, you guys had Jake Plummer. You ever won the Jake Plummer bandwagon or no?
Not really, Doug. I wasn't really even a Cardinals fan. Even now, I'm not really a Cardinals fan. I grew up a Packers fan most of my life, and then I kind of fell off.
Green Bay or Fudge?
Green Bay, 100%.
Okay.
And then when Brett Favre left, I kind of followed him. I watched the Jets for a minute and the Vikings, and then I kind of fell off. So yeah, but it's just like, so I'm not a. I mean, I kept up with it beating Arizona.
Speaking of, I can't let that slide.
Yeah.
Do you know how fun it was to be a part of the show when the Brett Favre shit cracked off?
Yeah, I missed that actually, Doug. I wasn't listening yet.
If I remember right, and please correct me, people, the listeners, if I'm wrong, that was Spot's roommate.
It was. I can
at the time, as it's going down, and no one knows, and they're still looking for, like, trying to figure shit out. I think it was Spot's roommate.
No, it was. I could tell you 100% it was, because remember, Rich was with her. He had broke up with her, and Spot stayed living with her.
He stabbed it. Didn't he stab it, or was that his old lady?
Did who?
Rich.
Rich did. Yeah, it used to be his lady. That's
right.
It. That's okay. Rich's ex.
Okay. Like for a minute, or like
Rich was dating her. Summer? No, Rich was dating her for a minute. Broke up with her. Spot was living with her, and Spot stayed living with her after they broke up. And during this, all that happened when Spot was living there. So, Doug, could you imagine? That's the funniest. Brett Favre taking a picture of his hog, sending it to her, and Spot's in the other room making stromboli. Like,
hey, and Brett Favre took Rich's ex-girlfriend deep.
Did
he stab it, or did he just get the picture?
His who? Brett Favre?
Yeah, did he give her the fuck?
I don't know. I don't know if he was hooking up with her for a minute or not. I don't know that part.
They didn't do the grown up, or you don't know? You don't know?
But I don't know. But you know what's funny? Do you remember in the picture, if I'm not mistaken, there's a picture like you could see like his Crocs in the background or something.
Oh yeah, I think there's something silly.
There was something like that I've never seen it, but I remember hearing about it because this was, I mean, how many years ago?
Long
So
time.
I'm in a fantasy football league, right? That I named my team Brett Favre's Crocs. So
Really?
it's in tribute to that time. And there's a little inside joke with myself for that time. It was Covino and Rich and Jen and Rich and Spot, all that kind of in my mind, it makes me laugh, even though nobody else gives a fuck, you know?
Hey, that's all that matters.
Yeah. But
All
yeah,
that matters, D. That's it. Nothing else.
yeah. But no, but I'm hella stoked because it just gives me more shit, dog. Because like right now we have the NFL starting, right? So I'm like hella stoked. Then we have this college football that I'm gonna try and catch here and then I'm just like basketball is gonna be starting soon.
Raiders.
Oh, you know what? And I saw your new Raiders gear. I'm not gonna lie, that starter shit was dope.
I had to go old school on that one. I had to bring it back. Thank you.
It was
Appreciate
dope. I'm
the
not even a
compliment.
Raiders fan. I thought that shit was dope.
Yeah. No, hey, I got a story real quick. So I had one similar to that. This was, I think it was around 2000, 2001 season. And me and Tip Dog drunk off our ass. I mean, we're faced. And the Raiders beat Pittsburgh. So you'd have to look when the last time they played Pittsburgh, 99, 2000, 2001. I don't know. But we beat them at home. And this dude bought the jacket off my back after we won. Everyone's high-fiving in the crowd. We're like, yeah. We're going silly, right? Nuts, so stupid, bananas. We were just acting up. He's like, I want that jacket. And I think he paid me a couple $100. Took it off, sold it to him right there on the spot. Fuck that. You can have it. I had a joint burnt on the sleeve anyways. I was like, it's yours, pal. Shit.
If you don't think El Cucuy is always finding a way to hustle some extra flow, literally sold the shirt off his back at a fucking game. That is hilarious.
No, I had this on. I had a white tee underneath it, but
yeah, but I'm just saying, literally, like
I think I only paid at the time. It was only $65, and it was like triple the value. I think he gave me like 150 or 180 or 200 or something. You got to ask Tip Dog. Maybe one day we'll bring him on and he can tell the story. But yeah, fourth quarter, seconds run off the clock. It was a close game. We win. Dude buys the jacket off my back.
Dog, I remember. I need to look for. I know I have them somewhere. I have so many bunk Laker shirts that they sell like outside of the stadium.
Yeah.
And dog, I have one of like Snoop Dogg wearing a Lakers jersey, smoking a blunt, and it's a cartoon.
Oh,
I have one.
Did you pay $10?
I think. Let me see. I think they were like $5 or $10 because dog, our whole family had them because we have a gang of family in LA. So we would just go visit them or whatever, not even coming from a game. And there'd be people on Figueroa Street, every corner, right? And boom, 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 just selling these. So I have like Chick Hearn's list, you know, and it'll have people on them. This person ain't. Dog, there's so many of those ghetto ass shirts that I used to fuck with.
Hey, I'll tell you this. I sent you a couple of videos of how they're ghost riding the whip and doing shit in front of the cops in Oakland, acting up. As you used to get off a Hagenberger, they were on the off ramp. There was no Figueroa Street. Like you're 100 fucking feet from the end of the freeway light, and motherfuckers are selling sunglasses and beanies. And if it's rain, hey, the funniest thing, but the best hustle, and you gotta love the out of this one is it rains in the Bay all the time, especially in September through December. These at the time when it was $1 at the Dollar Tree would go buy parkas for $1 and sell them for $5 or $10 because you don't want to get wet.
Oh, talk about a hustle. No, dog, my favorite hustle is when you told me you guys are walking to the stadium and going like on the overpass or whatever, right? Walking over, and there's somebody in the middle of the overpass selling hot dogs.
Oh yeah, no, on a cart. They got a cart.
That is fucking dope.
And some of those even have beer. They'll have an ice chest full of beer, soda, and bottled water. They'll sell you beer in the overpass.
Yeah, that is, dog. That's the fucking hustle, you know?
Yeah, no, you gotta love it. You know what I mean? It should. I don't know. You gotta love it. So I haven't been to the new Warriors Chase Center yet, but I have been to Vegas. And Vegas is dope. That stadium is super dope, but nothing beats like that.
Do you want to? I don't know if you want to pull up a couple of things. I know we talked about possibly doing. We can look at. I mean, if you have some Covino and Rich shit, but if you wanted to pull up, a couple of stories from like TMZ Sports or whatever, and kind of have the El Cucuy analysis of news story.
Yeah, we'll do that. But real quick, the guys were talking Chris Tucker, and they said they thought he was overrated. Covino said he didn't find his comedy funny at all. What do you think?
His stand-up, within the last like 10 or 15 years, I agree. However, if you go back to his like Def Comedy Jam, that was fucking fire. That shit, I remember he was talking about like about when you're still in high school and you're like trying to shut your lady up, and because your mama might be listening. And dog, he had some that was fucking fire.
Now I gotta go back and listen to it.
He's like, no, he's like, you hear your mama get home, and she's like, Chris. He's like, Mama, I'm coming. Mama,
I think I did see that one.
You remember that, dog? Yeah. I remember those shits. Those were from Def Comedy Jam. Those were the fucking. So his stand up back in the day was cool, but you know what? Kind of like Spot. I think Chris Tucker might have got dropped on his head because, dog, like, I don't know. Maybe it was once he got all that like rush hour money in, but like Chris Tucker from back then, Chris Tucker from Friday, like, to me, it was like he hit a point where he just got like corny and his movies weren't good and his stand-up wasn't good anymore. Like, I've watched his last stand-up specials.
He pulled a Master P. Master P did that and that's what happened with his music. Once he got too big, he couldn't relate no more.
100%. Well, because, that's
and I'll tell you why. And I think we probably talked about this before, but the thing is, I know a lot of underground hip hop rappers, whatnot. I know a lot of cats. And the thing is, the one thing that makes that music so raw, and probably Chris Tucker's comedy at that time so raw, was it was real. And they were living in the hood, and that was what was going on. So it wasn't like he wrote out a skit. He was fucking telling you with the energy about his life like the shit happened last week.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same with Master P. And then when you're still hustling to finance your record label and you're still selling dope and you still got 3 or 4 different girlfriends and you're still strapped, right? A lot like in the Bay. Again, I sent you those videos. Oakland's most dangerous liquor store at Brookfield Liquors. I used to go there every day for Swishers. Every day after work, when I got off of work in East Oakland, it was at 98th and Eads. I went there every single day. But when you're doing that and you're going through that, I could tell you a lot more about that experience 10 minutes after I left the liquor store than trying to regurgitate it here on the show 2 years later.
Yeah.
And so when you're in the moment, it's different. Yeah, it was hood, but I could tell you like detailed a 10-minute conversation 5-10 minutes after it happened. Right
it's
now,
like a dream, right?
Yeah, and now
right after you wake up, you remember it, like nobody's business. 5-10 minutes later, an hour later, your dream starts to fade a little bit, right?
Well, even in retail, whenever there's a situation and you're a manager, a slip and fall, a disagreement between you and another employee, or they have a fight or something, you got to document it because you know what? Tomorrow you won't remember all the details. So they always encourage you to go and document that right away, even if you don't need it later.
What's funny, dog, is that I remember George Lopez has a joke about that. And he's talking about how Latinos get mad at each other for so long. He's like, we forget why we're mad. Oh, and dog, he's like, they're like, hey, why don't you talk to my tia? And then his mom's like, because she's a, you can't even remember why. You're just like, I don't know. She's a, and
everyone is mad at him because he's an.
Yeah. Well, this is going back 15, 20 years now, Yeah,
he's a dick.
Or more, actually. Because that was like 99, 2000-ish.
Face looks like peanut brittle. That puto, like he said. They said he made that whole Eric Estrada shit up. Like, he's a dirtbag, bro. His wife gives him a kidney and he divorces her. What's wrong with that dude?
I don't know.
That's why he got peanut brittle face.
I guess, dog. You know what? Could you tell I was a good guy, dog? My skin's pretty good.
Hey, he looks like the munch bar at Walmart in the self-checkout when you're getting out of the little munch bar. That's what his face looks like.
Yeah, you're up because those shits are good. Now I'm getting Osco and shit. Like, I want to throw up.
hey, next time you eat a munch bar or a payday, just think of George Lopez.
I'm gonna take a bite and go right now, or later.
After show, but later.
Oh, damn.
Make a TikTok like that.
So what's up? You want to hit up some news stories or what's up?
I do. I got yeah, let's do it. Oh, no, hold on. Hold on. One more thing. So Rich was talking about they recorded on the herd, and on Thursday of last week, you know, they did the herd, right? And then Dan Patrick. I was waiting for that scumbag to pull out his breakfast.
Oh yeah, he didn't, huh?
No, he sure didn't. But you know what? They didn't start 10 minutes later either.
Yeah.
The disrespect he has for us Patreons.
Yeah, and you know what, dog? It is a big part of it is, and you know what? I'm not trying to badmouth anybody but Rich. What up, Carl? I'm not trying to badmouth, but Doug, I'm just saying, when anybody, you know, and you can connect the dots if you want, but when anybody just walks past the camera, dog, like it's not even there, I find that disrespectful too. It's like a little weird to be like, just straight up like passing, like, could you imagine, dog? Like somebody just like could walk you right past this, like we're not even there. Like, hey, I was watching a show here. Oh, you know what it reminds me of? You know what it reminds me of? Of like, do you remember back in like the early 2000s, you'd buy like a bootleg, like Superman or something, where somebody recorded it in the movie theater.
Oh, yeah.
And so you're watching it, and then all of a sudden,
movies.
Somebody gets up and walks across it, and you're like, what the? You're like, I was trying to enjoy my movie here. That's what happens sometimes, Doug, where I'm watching and I'm like, people bringing them in coffees and shit. Are you
saying that the disrespect is turning the show once in a while to bootleg?
It is. That's what 100% what it does, because it makes it go from a professional show that you're watching to, and you know what? Covino mentioned it last week, right? The you know, it's the whole reason why they come into frame on their new podcast, right? You know, you're trying to have that what did he call it? That like illusion of whatever, you know, where it's theater of the mind, right? You're trying to put something in their head. So even though we know they're at Rich's house, right? One, somebody important could be watching. Two,
for sure.
Two, I don't want to even believe that they're at Rich's house.
No, and the thing is too is that at the end of the day, like, again, it was, you know, we put out an album a long time ago, but at the end of the day, the finished product of what the consumer gets, you want to present as close to perfect as possible. Like when you do mix and master a CD or some music that you put together and you put out, you can always still hear the flaws. The average listener might not be able to hear those flaws, but you know every single one of them on that whole damn album. You know where everything could have been a cunt hair better. You just do. Okay. Yeah. And so basically, I still love the show regardless. And right now, I guess I'm just complaining to complain. So let me explain. But it is blatantly obvious Rich does not give a shit about being professional with his Patreon.
Yeah, every other thing, and that's what
like he's doing us a favor or something.
Is that every other thing, Doug, where Fox Sports, you know, overpromise, you know, filling in for Dan Patrick, all these other things, Doug, and the people that him the most, that pay him directly, right? He's not going to take seriously, Doug. That's what's a little like upsetting as a listener, as a paying, you know, patron.
Well, not only that, it's bad business for him. It's like, hey, you've got 4 shits and 3 of them are free.
Yeah.
Don't disrespect the people that are directly paying you into your pocket. Like, yeah, you're still getting paid.
Dog, besides there's Patreon, right? There's Fox Sports, Dan Patrick, overpromise, have kids, they said. Right?
No, but I guess what I'm saying is he has have kids, they said. They've got the overpromise and they've got the Fox Sports, right? And the serious stuff that they still
all
do.
Of the music shit. You know,
all the professional shit. It's just with us, they don't have to be professional. Yeah. Well, Covino's professional. He don't like that.
No, and it's just, to me, I'm like, and I know he's kind of like, oh, that's kind of silly. Like, they all know we're at my house. But what about the people that don't?
Oh,
right? What about the people that are just subscribing? What about the people that are watching clips on YouTube, TikTok, whatever, that aren't your paying patrons?
But help me. please clarify. How does, just because you're at your house, you built a professional fucking studio? Why wouldn't you act like a fucking professional in it? You're not recording like me. This shit ain't even sound boofed. You know what I mean? But I don't pull half the shit he does.
Yeah. Could you imagine, Doug, if I was talking to you and you were just eating some hot Cheetos?
Like, fucking stuff in my face, bro. Hold on, I want some eggs.
Yeah. And Carl Reinhardt, Doug, over here is listening with headphones. You're fucking up his groove.
Hey, and not only that, it's like then he had the balls. Like, again, I think it was clickbait because he cannot be that unaware of what he says and how people perceive it. Start the show 10 minutes later. That was the biggest grown man bitch fit. I thought you were a dad, bro, a parent. Like, did you really say that everyone's gonna wait on you, or you're gonna eat when you show up to Patreon, or everybody's gonna wait on Rich Davis? That was the most selfish statement I've heard in 2023.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, and the fact that it's just like, if he's going to any other job, he fits it in. Doug, that's like us showing up to a meeting at work and being like,
right?
What the?
No, well, it's like anything. Let's just say, I mean, anything. You have people, because, okay, here's the thing. Forget the money part. Sometimes it's hard to tune in, like to be a part of the show and to catch all the conversations. We're all busy, man. Like, so a lot of time I have to make it a point, catch it on replay, and whatnot, because just life gets ahead of you. Like, we're invested. We're invested where we want to listen to it later if we couldn't catch it live invested.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
Have a little class, Davis.
Yeah. Today, I got to go back and listen to an episode maybe tonight that I only got to listen to halfway because I was in and out of the conversation all day. So I mean, and like you said, that we're gonna go back and listen because we're that diehard. We love the show that much, and just
so eat your breakfast 10 minutes earlier.
I'm saying just reciprocate the respect a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what? And Carl Reinhardt says that Rich doesn't like getting called out, but that's the great thing about having an after show. We don't give a what Rich likes. And when Rich acts like a dickhead, he's going to get called out. And if you don't want to get called out, don't be a selfish dickhead.
I remember when I think we had mentioned it or something doing the after show. There's a clip that I had put into the original opening, song.
He's a little.
Rich is saying something about they can't do that or something about how like we couldn't. And then Covino goes, we can't stop them. And I took the little "we can't stop them" clip and I put it in the show in the intro because they can't. What are they going to do? Fire us? Right? Like, so that's one thing that I love is that we have the freedom to come on here and just express what we're feeling. And like I've always said, this show is what we would do. If I was talking to you on the phone right now, we would be having these opinions, right? We're not always going to agree with them. We're not always going to disagree with them. But that's the beauty of this show is we can just be real and honest.
Not only that, Rich Davis, like you might not like it, but this is the streets talking. You just get to get your ear in on it because you're too square. You wouldn't hear this nowhere else. We call it for what it is. Like D said, all we're doing, you should hear the conversations we have off air.
Yeah.
Okay. And so if you're going to say shit to get people all fired up and tell people they got to wait for you for 10 minutes so you can have hot cakes and eggs, we're going to talk a little shit about it. I mean, if you don't want us to talk shit, don't be a dickhead. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, bro.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Hey, because you know what? And here's the thing. We don't get any scratch out of this.
Yeah.
We do this for our listeners and anyone that wants to be a part of our show. And what did we say last week, D? I told you last week that even if we had some content that we could put out, we didn't have time to do a show. What did I say? Oh, I'm not going to look at you. Go ahead. What did I say?
You said we still got to do it every week. Every week we still got to do it.
Even if it's for 20 minutes.
Yeah. Every week we still got to get something out there.
Because if we fall off, we're gonna fall off, or we're more.
We even had content banked, and you said no. Let's get some fresh shit out there. We'll put that out during the week. Let's just get some fresh shit out there and keep the group going every week, having it fresh.
We don't have no tears. Okay. And so we do this just to do it. And we try to come as proper as we can. We're not Covino and Rich, obviously. We don't got the experience they got. But what we do is we do this because we're passionate about this. So with that being said, if we're passionate about talking about you buffoons and we don't even get paid from it, the least you could do is show up on time with a full belly.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
All right, let's go to the news.
All right, let's go to the news. We need to have a little show graphic right here. El Cucuy's news.
Whoa. So in TMZ news, there's a
Yeah.
warrant issued for an alleged stalker of Drew Barrymore. So I guess she's got some stalkers. I don't know.
Who? Okay, I just want to know who in 2023 is stalking Drew Barrymore?
I don't know. He's a bald-headed cat with blood on his head.
For real?
And his name is Chad Michael Busto.
Oh, I thought it was Chad Michael Murray. I thought he really fell off.
He did on his head. Look, it's bloody and everything.
Oh, I see that. Damn, that dude. Okay.
So anyway, there's the poopy plane.
Oh, you see it?
Video shows diarrhea aftermath. Stained aisles airwear. That's what it says. ER''wear. Airwear. And it does look like it's.
Yeah, it is gross across the board, across the aisle. Disgusting.
So last TMZ headline, Prince George County, Maryland. Cop kisses young woman and goes in the patrol car with her too, ? Said they were looking like they were doing some hanky-panky, and they still haven't identified the cop yet, but they got into the back of a marked vehicle, closing the door behind them. What do you think? He got it in? No, not a good one.
Of course he did, 100%.
If he stabbed it in the back of the cop car, who cares? Right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Are you excited? Apple iPhone 15. Are you excited for that? And are you getting the upgrade?
Doug, I think I have an iPhone 12, if I'm not mistaken.
What? You got a Betamax too, or what?
I'm not lying. I think this is a 12.
I mean, I got wired headphones, so I can't talk too much. I'm over here cord dangling. Hey, and you know what? I'm gonna call myself out. I don't give a. There ain't no reason to have cords in 2023. You just cheap.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, you know what's funny? But I'm gonna get the iPhone, so I don't know. Go fish.
But you know what though? I think I have a 12. And Doug, do you remember this shit when I freaking drove over this shit with my car?
Oh yeah,
twice.
Yeah.
Look at it. It's still a champ. So am I gonna want to jump into another phone, pay what $1,500, $1,000 for it when I got a phone over here that works perfectly fine and it's paid off? Unless that shit is doing like, I don't know, giving me some like nut tickles. I don't know if I need it.
Hey, bro, that phone shoots stars like Shinobi.
What, for real? What is it gonna do? What have you heard about the new specs on it or anything? What's it gonna do that's so crazy?
I don't know, but your phone, all you can's like Ken.
Oh, what?
All you can like Ken. You ever play Street Fighter?
Yeah, of course.
No, it's supposed to. You know how Apple does it. I mean, everything's just a smidgen better. The processor is the M3 or whatever, right? It's going to have a little more megapixels. They're supposed to have I heard that they're going to come out with a watch, an Apple Watch Ultra, that's going to play very nice with that headset.
Doug, did you hear about that? Do you remember for a while Android had something where you could take pictures of the moon?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Did you hear that was? Yeah, Doug, it was like some AI type.
Where did you hear that? Really, it was fake or what?
It was fake. Look up the story. It's everywhere. Where
I don't fuck with them scumbags. If you're green, you would take a picture, weak,
and it would like AI the picture to look like it was more in focus and shit. But it wasn't. It was like, you're like, oh, Doug, I could see the craters on the moon.
Yeah.
And it was all fake.
Did you find that out because you tried to see where China crashed that rover into the moon? You hear about that?
But I couldn't find it because it was fake.
So check this out. Next in the news, the ex-Proud Boy leader, Enrique Tarrio, is sentenced to 22 years in prison. Give me the over on the 22. Is it too much or is it too little or is it just about right?
For who? For what?
The Proud Boy leader, the one that stormed the Capitol when Trump lost on January 6th.
How many years did he get?
They gave him 22 years. Meanwhile, Henry Ruggs killed a lady, and he got 3 to 10.
He got like a weekend. He got that fucking where you could get work release and shit.
You know what? And you know what? That's total bias. You know what I mean? Because the 22 years is because he was on national headlines and what he actually did and what building he went into. He could have went into any other building in America and not got nearly. He would have got half of that shit.
Yeah. You know what? Reinhardt says that one of his homies has that new watch, and it goes. He said it's dope. You know, I'm more likely.
Well, it doesn't come out though. It doesn't come out till the new release.
Well, then maybe his friends.
That one doesn't pair with the Apple head. It ain't out yet, bro.
No, but see, one of the things that I'm more likely to do is buy that VR or something crazy like that, rather than buying a fucking new watch. But
yeah, I don't think I'm gonna buy the watch. I'm gonna buy the phone for sure,
or a new phone even.
Hey, hi,
hello.
Talk to us. We talk back.
Charges dictate the sentence. What the fuck does that mean?
Phillip Rivers is calling plays?
I guess so. What does that mean? Charges dictate the sentence.
Or is it Justin Herbert?
I don't know, dog. Hey, what about
the Daniel Tomlinson?
The Ultra out now.
Huh.
I don't know. Maybe it's out now. I don't know.
Maybe it is. Who knows?
But no, I'm more likely to get the headset.
I'm more likely to get head.
Or that too. I mean, whatever makes you happy, right?
Do we like dirt biking? I've been on the motorboat. I like the motorboat.
Okay, when it comes to dirt biking, dog, the closest I ever got was to around with those little 50s. Do you remember those?
I do.
Like the dog, I remember mobbing around on those things, just fucking around on those. Those are so bad. And I remember, dog, I almost got like what do they call it? Like whiskey throttle, where you can't fucking. And dog, I almost killed myself on a little 50 one time. That's the most my shit goes as far as dirt biking.
Hey, I know me and Mito. Mito's a dirt bike master. He can, he's a street bike master. Mito will pop a wheelie and land it at like 110 on a Gixxer 1000. You know what I mean? I can't do nothing like that. I never rode a Gixxer, but I know one time me and Mito were out. I had bought a brand new quad. I had a 2004 Yamaha 650, and I think he had a 2004 Dale Earnhardt Jr. edition Polaris. It wasn't a Raptor. It was something else, whatever. Anyways, so I'm following Mito and he goes up this hill, zit, 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 and made it look all easy. I tried to go up the hill and I fell on my back.
You didn't get smashed by your fucking ATV and shit?
No, it wasn't that bad because I got strong legs. So like when I knew I was going, I was able to kind of push it off.
Covino and Rich went to the show this weekend to the game. And they got into the VIP area.
That's dope.
One thing that made me laugh was on their Patreon. They were talking about how they were like, I don't think we said this on Fox. We got somewhere that we weren't supposed to be. We were next to Prince Harry and David Beckham. And Doug, they said all that shit on Fox Sports when they were on Dan Patrick.
Well, hey, that's cool. They're kicking it though.
So it was funny because I heard them say that. I was like, did these fools forget? I'm like, I hope they didn't think the bosses like weren't listening or something. They could say it because, dog, I heard all that on Sunday or Monday, wherever the day they jumped on for Dan Patrick.
I'm wondering if I'm gonna ever bump into Prince Harry when I'm walking down Santa Barbara puffing a blunt.
That shit would be funny, huh?
Yeah. Hello, Harry. Hello, Megan.
Dog, I didn't know. So my lady was watching the show, Suits, right, and has Meghan Markle on it.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
I didn't know who the fuck he was. And so my wife was making a comment about her. And I was like, oh, who is she? Is she famous? And she was
a good
like,
comment or a bad comment?
No, just like something about, oh, fucking, I like her hair on this or something. Just a passing comment.
That's nice.
And I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, who is she? Is she famous? And she was like, are you serious? And I was like, I don't fucking know. Who is she? And she's like, it's Meghan Markle. And I was like, oh. Okay, now I know.
There's lots of juice on this, lots of tea to spill.
All right, let's hear it.
So Tommy B, Mr. 6-time, 7-time champion, was with Bradley Cooper's ex. I guess they're banging and whatnot. She stayed at his pad for a couple days. But then they saw her back with BC. So everyone's kind of going, what the hell's going on, whatnot. But then TMZ, Harvey confirmed.
Doug, hold on. You're saying all kinds of abbreviations. Tommy B, BC, TMZ.
Yeah. Tommy B, which is Tommy Brady, BC's Bradley Cooper, TMZ. I have no idea what that stands for, but the channel.
30 mile zone.
Is it?
30 mile zone? Yeah. Because they're saying that like that LA part is like 30 miles, like that part of Hollywood is 30 square miles. That's
just
where all
keep
the
it
shit
to TMZ,
happens.
Harvey. That's the dumbest I've ever heard, Harvey. Just keep that a wrap. Don't ever tell no one that shit again, and just stay TMZ.
Don't tell anybody that I knew that's what it stood for. I think that's the embarrassing part.
He should go walk in the middle of traffic in that 30-mile zone for coming up with something so dumb. He's lucky that the three initials carried the name. But with that being said, that's what they said, man. So I guess they said Tommy B and Irena Shaynik, or whatever her name is. I guess they're still a couple, and they might even be in an open relationship. Would you be willing to be in an open relationship with her if you could get those cheeks every night or whenever you saw her? And if you were, would it bug you that she's back kicking it with BC?
No. I mean, but then again, I don't love her, so I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he can't love her either. If anyone loves her, it's BC because they had a kid together, right? He would be jealous of Tommy B.
Yeah. But if it's just him to get his, then I mean, I don't see. I mean, I'd be like, all right, cool. Well, but then the thing is if you start to catch feelings, then now you're kind of fucked. You know what I'm saying?
But you can't bareback a woman like that, can you?
So I'm done worse, dog. So come on now.
Yeah, no, that's how your thing falls off.
Okay.
Because he's Hollywood. Hey, he's Hollywood. He's all sports. You don't think between those two, if they were sharing the cheeks, that I couldn't do all that, man.
They're not sharing them. They're not like right next to each other.
Yeah, but some things water and soap don't take away. Even the good soap and the good water.
But a little peroxide does.
It would take you to have an alkaline water where it transitions to water to alkaline, and you'd have to have some, I don't know, but she is hot, but I couldn't bareback it. I couldn't do that. She couldn't be with me and then with that dude and then back with me. Like, I could be cool kicking it like that, but I wouldn't even want to kiss. I wouldn't even want to kiss her. Would you? Because what if she was sucking his pole?
That's all good.
And then Bradley Cooper, next time you're in the news, like, how my dick taste?
Yeah. You're like exactly like her.
Yeah, no. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Anyways, what you got, D?
I think you could. That was pretty much it, dog. I have Rich's first day as a softball coach, Coach Prime, college football. Rich began his juice cleanse. Oh, we didn't get to that.
I know it.
Rich began like a $300 and
I heard it. You can eat food. No, you can't. But some of you can eat food. I ain't ever heard of a juice cleanse. Like, if you're trying to cleanse, I have yet to see one that encourages you to eat food. They all have a disclaimer saying, if you must eat, here's what we recommend. But ain't none of that shit say you should eat on a 3 or a 5 day cleanse.
Yeah, 100%. I've never seen it, but I don't know. But you know what though? They were like, Spot made a good point because Rich was like, they're 90 calories. You have this many of them. What do you call it? They were saying you have like 850 calories throughout the day. So I'm like, dog, if you have 850 calories, that's what Spot was saying. You're going to lose weight. It doesn't matter if you're eating three Snickers, right? You eat three Snickers a day. You only have 800 calories. You're still going to lose weight.
Especially if you burn off like 1,200.
So what is this he's doing? Why did he spend the $300? Maybe to keep him a little more on track, or I don't know.
I think it's good in a sense that, that one cacahuate that, you got miles of intestine that got caught on that one curve and shit and been stuck there for 2 weeks. I think on stuff like that, it's good to flush. If you could actually get a flush and flush everything out, I think that's good. But I think if you're doing it to lose weight, you're trying to cheat and it's never going to work. It might work temporarily, but you're going to put it right back on.
Yeah, no, well, and that's especially, it's like with anything. If you don't make it actual.
And Carl said the only thing Rich lost was $300. That's $350.
Dog, You know what? That dude that does those videos, his
L'Oreal?
shoes come out ending look. They end up looking like shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
You
I mean, I
know?
remember what's crazy too about him. Let's throw it back. Let's throw it back a little bit. If I'm remembering correctly, he didn't even do that until like 2 years ago. Like when COVID first cracked off, and he was on there. He had a tag. It was called the L'Oreals, and it was beat that for a budget. And he's making these cheap ghetto meals, and that was his stick.
Yeah. No, it's funny because when dog, it reminded me, dog. I used to do that shit in like 99, 2000. Hit him with that white and paint for your shoes and shit. Dog, that's all he's doing. He's running these shoes through a washer, and then hitting them with like a toothbrush, and then hits them with that fake looking white paint, and they look like at the end. I just got myself some new Air Force Ones. I'm like, dog, those
$150.
those are ugly as fuck, dog. You sport those, anybody's gonna clown you. 100%, dog. Nobody's gonna look at those and be like, oh, those are sick as fuck. Dog, they look like you got them out of the trash, washed them, and put white shit on them.
So I'm
100%.
trying to go back. I'm looking at his page right now, and I'm gonna try to go back. I don't know if he's Captain Content and how many he makes videos, but I'm seeing if he could do the ones where before he was doing that stupid $150, it was the hood meal.
Yeah.
Did you ever see him back then or no?
Nah. He just started to pop up in my algorithm when it was more than $150.
Here's kind of one. Watch, let's hear it.
You're so weird. Yeah, you know we have hot dog bread, right?
We don't.
Oh.
We don't. Why do you think I'm doing this?
You're
so weird, bro. You guys are too young. You guys don't know what's up.
You're so weird.
You guys are too young. You guys don't know what's up. We used to call these ghetto dogs back in the day.
Like, why would
He's wrapping the bread because he didn't have a bun.
People know what's up. People that used to be broke on the struggle. When the struggle's real, there's always a meal.
See, that was his. I just saved $150, and his old shit was, when the struggle's real, there's always a meal.
I dig that shit. Though. I do dig that.
No, me too.
But I think it's about time for us to wrap it up.
No, hey, what about Reinhardt over there? We got to shout out Funky Monkey too. I haven't heard us shouting her out enough lately. Shout out Funky Monkey. What's up, Funky Monkey?
I hit her up before this. Now, I told her we were going live.
Is I Am Key kicking it with Mark from Colorado?
I don't know, dog. I haven't heard from I Am Key in forever.
Where's Jason?
Oh, you know what? And shout out to Andrew Fournier, dog. That dude, he used to hit us up all the time, and he hit us up recently, and I was like, hey, what happened? He was like, I've just been busy. He's like, but I'm always listening. So shout out to him. You know, Homer, Joey in Texas, Carl, of course, Reinhardt, the homie Luis, Ismael Chavez, and shout out to there was somebody that showed us love on YouTube recently.
Bobby Tipton,
Eric Zander, another Carl that was checking us out.
Hey, we gotta have us a little get together or something, or try to encourage the fellas to have a Carl convention or something. Man, we got to get something popping off because I want to meet the people.
Well, that's what they're doing. Everybody at the beginning of December. Everybody's trying to get to Vegas at the beginning of December.
Someone give me the info. I want to see what's cracking.
I'll drop you a link.
Okay. Well, if someone else is listening, shoot me the info. Tell me what's cracking. What's the party? Hey, I want to see a lineup and a schedule. And what the hell do they got to do? Are we going to a Mets game? Are we going to the Gotham Comedy Club? What are we doing?
It's gonna be hard to do all that in Vegas.
We're going on a booze cruise?
I don't know.
We're going to the Hoover Dam? We're going on a helicopter over the Hoover Dam? What are we doing?
All I know is Ian Kennedy is gonna be there, and Chris Rucker, Aaron, Aaron, what the fuck is his last name? Admire is gonna be there. So there's gonna be a handful of people.
All right. Well, I'm down. Let's get drunk. Let's get.
Yep.
Hey, you could take the equipment, bro. We might have to have a little guest on.
We might. I'll just
do a live show. Table,
dog. Dog. I just need to take a truck, dog. I can just lift this whole table and take it with me. I got all my shit strapped to it. The mic, the computer, everything, the monitors, everything's strapped to it. So we're good.
Hey, I don't have a favorite country. Hey, OFSR. I don't have a favorite country. You know why? We're all God's people. He loves us all, regardless of belief or where you live.
We are the world.
We are the people
We are the children
that
Okay,
make
I'm
up the
recording, so-
world.
I'll see you right now. Love you. Okay,
What's your
cool.
favorite country, OFSR?
You know, the Soviet Union, probably.
I don't know.
Some of
Who
those
knows? Let's
Russian
ask them.
bots.
So how does the bot shit work?
It's just AI, dog. They have them join the fucking live, and it just responds to whatever fucking saying. Look it, you can talk to it. It's a real live AI.
National Road, you doggy.
National Finals Rodeo.
Rodeo finals. All right.
Okay.
Hey, I heard Wrangler butts drive D nuts. Is that true?
I heard that too. I don't know. I don't know if it's true or not.
Hey, Carl, do Wrangler butts drive you nuts?
I think they do.
You need to make. Hey, you know what he needs to do? He needs to get that double stitched belt. The ones I've been seeing on TikTok. On what? Right,
You know what drives me nuts?
What?
The little steering wheel. It drives me nuts.
You have a steering wheel in your.
No, dog. It's an old joke. I think I said it wrong though. I don't think you're supposed to be the punchline.
What were you sitting on a GTA controller?
No, it's when somebody says, "You know what drives me nuts," and then you hit them with the little steering wheel in your ass.
Oh, the one you sat on playing GTA?
I guess so. Dog.
All right.
Not the way you're thinking.
All right. Sorry, Carl.
I don't know.
But thank you for joining us, man. Much appreciated. We appreciate the interaction and the feedback. I'm
glad Carl found the fucking link, dog. I just feel like it's so weird when we don't have the Patreon because it's like, YouTube will send out notifications to like who it wants to. So if we're live, unless people are coming to the page when we're live, they're not going to know. So I'm trying to find ways to share it so we can get all the fucking homies in here. Patreon.
Just do a group text.
Doug, you do a group text. Because
like 50,000 people in one text. There you go.
Yeah. You go ahead and
can't you set it up where it's automated, where you just put it on there and boom, it just sends out all the emails?
You go ahead and try to figure it out. Let me know how it's going. I just opened up YouTube. Yeah. Doug, it's because you spend a lot of time on our page, right? And knows you're gonna dig this.
Hey, you know what?
It knows the interaction
on again. Yeah, shout out Bobby Tipton, Stickman, everybody, man. Funky Monkey. Shout out Steve Covino. Thank you again. And you know what?
100%.
I'm gonna say it right here. I have the utmost respect for that dude. He has shown us so much love, and my gratitude to him is endless, man. I mean, he's awesome. I gotta get him. I'm gonna make Stevie's a little bigger than Spot and Richie's, but I gotta get them some cookies.
Oh, Doug.
Yes.
I wonder if I could. Nah, I don't have time to go. Next show.
Hey, come on, man. That's like, what are you, cliffhanger? Your favorite show, The Fall Guy, or what? Come on, man.
I'll bring something next show that
what?
I can't run and grab them right now, Doug.
What do you think? Your Power? You haven't been watching Power, have you, Tommy?
No, I haven't. Why? What happened?
He moved to Chicago. He's trying to take over in Chicago now, and it's wild. It's cracking off.
Dog, you say Chicago like a Latino. You say Chicago. You emphasize the Chicago.
The Charmin?
Yeah, or Chevron.
Charmin?
Shampoo.
The Chevron.
Charp. The knife is Charp.
Charp. Channon Charp.
Things my family says.
Channon. Hey, Channon Sharp is with
Channon Sharp. But then why is it Jackie Chan?
Shout out Channon Sharp.
But then why is it Jackie Chan? If it's Channon Sharp,
Che.
But it's Yaki Chan, or no, Yaki Chan.
A lumberjack.
Yaki Chan.
A lumberjack.
Yaki Chan. Yaki Chan and Channon Sharp.
Channon Sharp. Club Che.
Anyway, after show, but later. I think we got to wrap, dog, because it's getting close to my fucking Betty bye, dog.
Yeah, me too. I gotta get up early.
But anyway, after show but later, we appreciate you guys joining us for this. Even all you fucking bots out there, we appreciate you guys too.
So we appreciate Carl more.
I appreciate Carl over everybody, right? And over everybody else that was in the chat today.
And get that show started, bro. What's the holdup? After show but later.
We'll see you guys in episode number 203.
On the road to the riches, cause it's all about the paper. Now buckle up your seats and prepare for the journey. Let the music ease your soul, grab a spliff and start burning. Relax with us and take a trip to the heavens. And come and spend a day in the 757.